Hello and welcome to Overdrive. Now, as you can see, we don't have Shireen on the show today, and that's because she's covering the one thing that can keep her away. That's the union budget. But instead, we have another beauty on the show, and that's the Volkswagen Polo, which has finally been launched, prices have finally been announced, and you can finally buy this car in India. The big news is the price. The Polo range starts at 4.34 lakh rupees for the entry-level petrol, deliveries of which will start on the 8th of March. In all, there are 2 engine and 3 trim variants currently available through 40 dealers across the country. You've seen the Polo on the show before, but remember, that was shot in Europe. Now in Europe, you have a lot of interesting and nice-looking cars on the road. But you take the Polo from Europe, plonk it in India with the cars that we have right now on our roads, and this car really stands out. It's not overly designed like small cars today. Instead, it's handsome, it's elegant, it's got muscle in all the right places, and it all comes together really cohesively. In fact, I think this is the best looking small car in the country today, and I can bet my house that most of y'all will agree with me. There are also these nice little touches. For instance, this Volkswagen logo. You press the roundel, and that opens the boot. It's a car that you will love waking up to every morning, and it won't age quickly. In fact, this car will look as good 2-3 years down the line. Airbags and ABS are only available on the top-end Highline spec. But unlike the Swift, you don't get climate control, power mirrors, or steering wheel mounted audio controls. The Polo might be more expensive than the competition, but all that extra money went into this cabin, into building a fantastic cabin. The quality of materials used is just incredible, and every single part that you touch is slush molded plastic, which looks good and feels premium. And the best part is, even the base versions have an equally well-built cabin. Okay, it might not have all the equipment, it might not have this integrated stereo, which by the way, does not have an auxiliary or a USB input, which is a big drawback in this segment. But the biggest drawback is possibly space. With a person of my size behind the wheel, space at the rear is a bit cramped. Two engines are on offer. Both displace 1.2 liters, are 3-cylinder units and develop 75 PS of power. I'm driving the 1.2 liter diesel, and no, this is not the same engine as the Fabia. This is an all-new common rail diesel engine, and by diesel engine standards, this is very refined and silent. In fact, it has got better refinement than the petrol. What I don't like is this gearbox that the diesel engine gets, which has got long throws and it is a bit notchy. It takes work to shift. The engine too, it is not as powerful as a Suzuki unit, and so it requires revs, and the gearbox needs to be worked if you are in a hurry. While I'm focusing on the diesel car for this test, Bert was out driving the petrol.
Now the Polo's 1.2 litre petrol engine is the very same engine that's used in the Fabia. However, this engine has some minor tweaks to enhance fuel efficiency, very important criteria for the Indian public. What I like about this engine is that the power delivery is very linear. So, drivability in the city is fantastic. However, out on the highways you do have this sense, this feeling that you want a bit more power. The flip side, however, is that the refinement of this engine is not all that up to the mark compared to the other petrol engines in this category.
The ride quality on the Polo is just phenomenal. It is firmly damped, and so in the city you can feel a bit of pitter-patter. But out on the highway, at speed, the ride quality, the stability is just incredible. Like a Mercedes-Benz, when you're driving it at 200, it doesn't feel that fast. Same with the Polo. You don't know how fast you're driving. In fact, recently while driving here, I thought this car was a bit slow. Then I looked down at the speedo and I realized that I was fast. Such is the confidence-inspiring nature of this car that makes it such a driver's delight. The diesel range starts at 5.32 lakhs and goes all the way up to 6.7 lakhs for this Highline spec, while the top-end petrol costs 5.72 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi. And that is a significant premium over not just the Ritz, but also the Swift and even the Fabia, on which there are a lot of discounts being offered currently. So there you have it. I'm mighty impressed with the Polo. It's not without its flaws. The engines, neither the petrol nor the diesel are best in class. The Suzukis are better. And I could have asked for more space at the rear. But then look at what you get. You get this fabulous handling, ride and road holding and stability at speed, which you don't get in any other small car. You also get tremendous quality inside and great style, which I think is well worth the premium. Sure, Volkswagen do ask for a premium. And yes, the Volkswagen brand in India is not that strong right now to command that premium. But in a year or two down the line, when people start talking about the Polo, and they start talking about how much they've enjoyed driving the Polo, about its quality and how well it is to the test of time, and then that premium will seem well worth it. And now it's time for our first commercial break. But before we go on a break, here's how you can win a Ford Endeavour.